I'm Bob Cobb from the Bassmasters, and this is LD and the MC.
Well, as the amazing Bob Cobb just told you all, you have arrived at LD
and the MC. We're not going to talk about football. I'm excited. I'm going to break this out right from the beginning. We are not going to talk about football in this show because I am looking way past this show. Look, I mean, I know it's early. I know we're supposed to do this at the end, but we're having a freaking Super Bowl special. I'm going to throw it out there right now. We're LD and the MC. We're doing a Super Bowl special, not today, on Saturday. You'll be able to watch that Saturday. But right now, I'm focused into show number
15. 15. Who would have ever thought 15? And it's the week of the Super Bowl, like you said. And
where's number 15?
I walked right.
Hercules. How is it?
You said you weren't going to talk about it. You said you weren't going to talk about it.
It's show friggin' 15, and Patrick Mahomes wears number 15, and he's number one in your heart,
buddy.
But we're going to open the show like we do all the time. Mom's Basement Moment. Let's get past this Super Bowl thing. We'll talk about that during the what are we calling it? Are we calling it the Super Saturday Super Bowl special? Sound good?
From the number one internationally hosted podcast ever.
Exactly. Which always opens with Mom's Basement Moment. I'll let you go first.
Yeah, so we've had various groups of people that we've thrown into Mom's Basement, really kind of broad strokes in Mom's Basement Moments for the last few weeks. But we decided to get back to our roots today, Dave, and read what we find to be funny yet insulting, but then funny again comments towards us on our individual respective YouTube channels. And I had one a while back that I screenshot and saved just because it's that roller coaster ride of a comment that start out like, hey man, I like your content, and then finishes with, but you're a giant piece of garbage. I love those. So this comes from a viewer that goes by simply J space R space L. So you're just getting the initials there, man. This was on a low budget live. I must preface that, man, great content. So immediately you're like, oh, okay. Ruined by the same song over and over and over and over. And so many sponsors, you need a new freaking name. Jesus, Van Damme Jr. Get in a boat and interview some real pros like you used to when I subbed to this channel. Oh yeah, Startron. Everybody's been using that over and over since the beginning of time. OMG, this guy. JRL, not a fan of the sponsor plug, not a fan of Biloxi Blues, the intro song to Low Budget Live every single week. That a heartfelt song that I wrote about my father, Dave. He's not a fan. He's not a fan. And that one made me laugh, though. I had to share that one with you. I've been sitting on that one for a few weeks. Not the best I've seen, but a good one. But a good one just because of the roller coaster. What you got?
Well, I will tell you that this comment is nothing like your comment. This is going to teach you what a real hate comment is like. Look, I mean, that was just baby steps. I mean, he lulled you into it with happiness. This guy goes right from the top. It is Kyle. It's Cockin, I believe, Cookin, or however, Kyle Cock.
Cockin.
Let's just call him.
Definitely Cockin for sure.
Let's just jump right in this. Nobody is here for you. We all came here because of Lunkers TV. To apparently listen to two. Now remember, I meant to warn before I started reading. Earmuffs, if I didn't write this, I'm just reading it, okay? So from the top, nobody is here for you all. We all came here because of Lunkers TV. To apparently listen to two conceited fuckwads rambling about nothing. Quit hating on Rob because he is infinitely more successful than you two ever will be. I mean, not only did he not baby step it, but I mean, he's got a point. I mean, Rob is a lot more successful. I mean, his YouTube channel got more plays than the history today than the history of LD and the MC, including all the other crap we do. So he's right. But yeah, that's our freaking Mom's Basement Moment.
My
What?
favorite one yet.
It's your favorite?
It's my favorite one yet, just because any show that opens with an F-bomb, it just.
I tried to warn, okay?
You
If
did
anybody's
parental
upset,
advisory, explicit lyrics, but we are just reading. Hey, it's like everyone interprets an artist, their painting's different. That an artist that wrote that with their keyboard, the whole work needs to be shared, I feel like.
and I do feel like in certain situations, like if he had taken a profanity in a different direction, I could have beeped it. But when you go to that term, the F-wad, I mean, even F-wad doesn't. I mean, I guess I could have dropped an F-wad.
Nah, it doesn't
but
work.
it's not the same. I mean, because
Doesn't
some
hit the
people would be
same.
like, "What do you mean, friggin' wad?" Like, we had to
Fish
whatever
wad.
it is.
What are you talking? What
But-
are we talking here?
Let's leave the negative and
leave.
build and of course that was from our podcast we did with Lunkers TV that got us a lot of love and a lot of hate, but we love all of you for wasting your time with us. But let's stay in that vein. But we're
Okay.
going to get a little bit more positive. I mean, this is I mean, you see unboxings on the internet. You've seen those, right, Luke?
Yes, I have very, very many times.
Very popular.
Big fans. Huge.
Yes, some
huge
kids
and
are
popular.
rich from it.
Yes, indeed.
Well, don't screw this up because you're going to do our very first unboxing, but it is a gifting. And he has not seen this. To be totally honest, folks, I have not seen this. I ordered it online and I made sure it got to him. And I said, when this arrives, you cannot open. You have to open it on camera. So Luke, I'll let you. You know what? This arrived earlier this morning. I believe.
Today.
Yeah.
I was in the shop. FedEx comes rolling in, and with an international priority package. So it's gonna be special. It's also from Pakistan. So little nervous. I'm sweaty. I'm sweaty. So can
It's
I just
from
dive
me.
in with it?
I don't know. I don't know how it was packed.
It's
It might not
from
have been
you.
packed.
We literally had a bet where you were going to shoot me with an arrow, buddy.
And it's
So,
from me.
Now there's a
A week
package at
after
my
that
house. A week after that bet, so I'm sweaty. Okay,
Open it up.
I don't know which
Beautiful.
end to open it.
I don't
from.
know either.
Well, I don't want to mess it up.
Okay. Well, you better be quick because the iTunes listeners are
Okay.
shutting down at a rapid pace.
Hang with
Idiots
us,
are doing
iTunes.
things I can't see.
Okay, I'm in.
Okay. I bought this for you with my very own money.
Oh my gosh, dude! This is amazing.
I'm so proud right now. I love giving gifts. You earned it. You earned it. You freaking earned it.
Here we go. Fun. This is amazing.
Show colors and everything.
Varsity.
We got
Yes!
a jacket.
Yes. Oh, we're wearing this, baby. Hang on. iTunes listeners, I'm sorry.
I'll describe it for you while he gets dressed, ladies and gentlemen. He's putting on a beautiful varsity jacket. It is orange in color as its base, orange and black. I believe pleather arms, maybe leather. I don't know, but
I'm going to lean with pleather, but buddy, it fits great.
look
I'm
at
gonna
it.
get an LD and the MC pack.
No way. You do notice there's no letters.
I know. I was confused by that, but
No,
I wasn't gonna say
you're not there yet, sunshine. Okay, while you're getting all
Okay.
excited. Okay,
okay.
you got the jacket.
Yeah.
We're making our way there. You'll earn the letters. I have faith in you.
Okay.
But
What's
I just
it going
want,
to take? What's
I
it
just-
going to take? I need a goal to shoot for. I presented a guy with almost 2 million subs and I got a blank jacket.
Well, to be honest, I'm surprised you got the jacket this quick. And
Okay.
let us know in the comments. I mean, you guys are surprised too. Let's be honest.
They're not. They're not. I have so many commenters on LBL and on the Luke Duncan's Traveling Circus YouTube channel saying, "You're varsity, buddy. You've always been
Dude.
varsity." So they disagree with you.
But the problem is you asked them.
No,
You know what I mean?
don't.
That's like a kid walking downstairs before the prom and asking his mom, "Mom, do I look good?" "Oh, son, you're the most beautiful boy in the prom." You're not really.
Man,
But
this
you
feels
are
great.
you look freaking varsity today.
Dude, I feel like the Fonz, except way cooler than the Fonz, if that's possible.
Well, I'm glad you like it, and
Dude, this is great.
you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dave. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Gift that keeps on giving right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something real nice for you.
No, I don't want anything nice.
No, I'm gonna have to do
I don't-
something nice for you.
I don't
figure out
want
what
any-
that is. I don't know.
Get more people to watch our show. That's what I'd like.
This just did it.
What's our next topic?
Our next topic is we are finally back in the professional bass fishing mode. Finally, it feels a little strange to say finally because the Bassmaster Open's just wrapped up in December.
Yeah.
But here we are. We're very short off season, but we've had a few weeks of just dull, no tournaments to report on. You're fixing to get back on the Bassmaster Elite Series. Everything's cranking up, but we had a Toyota Series.
Did we ever?
Down in Tejas, and Derek Mundy.
Monday.
I'm telling you, I'm talking about he won, first of all, the first BFL of the year down on Sam Rayburn with a 40-pound stringer that included just freaking giant bass. This week, he wins with 70 pounds, 11 ounces for 3 days, 39-pound stringer on day 2 that included a 13-pound, 10-ounce bass that was so big. There was a video clip on social. When he pulled it out of the light, when they get that big, they just look fake to me. Like it looks like just so fake. This thing just had fat rolls everywhere, man. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. So were you all pumped up there on the frozen lake?
Oh, dude. I mean, I think I texted you about that fish.
Yeah.
That's how excited I was. I mean, 1310 is, I mean, you get all fat. You know you're fat when you got fat eyes. That's what I'm going to tell you. When you're in the bass world, you know you're a big smallmouth. The two things you got to look for: a big smallmouth. Here's the area you look. You look right under here, right under there. If they got the triple chins, if they got that, if their chin starts like right below the jaw, they're big. That's a big small. That's a 6-pound plus smallmouth. Like 5-pounders, they don't start there. They start back a little further. When it comes to big largemouth, if they got them eyes that are freaking like. My body has gotten so big that it's trying to push parts of me that are on the inside to the outside. If they got them eyes,
That's a great.
you know,
they're pushed out eyes. I like that. That's what I'm gonna start saying. That's what I'm gonna call my big old pushed out POs instead of PBs. Pushed out eyes. That's true though, dude. I was gonna say that the eyeballs were like freaking baseballs, gigantic on this thing. But more than that, to me. Think about, we've seen different people dominate on lakes at different times, and Rayburn has been dominated by some of the most amazing fishermen to ever come out of Texas that get dialed at certain times. We've seen Albert Collins, we've seen Russell Cecil and Todd Castledine, those guys, many before them, Lonnie Stanley, so many great anglers come from that part of the world. But dude, to beat those guys, some of the most competitive people I know on planet Earth at catching bass. They're amazing at it. On that lake in particular, to beat them, not only just to win, but to blow it out, but to add almost your consecutive tournament with a 40-pound string. Dude, it's unheard of to me. So my question to you is this do you think he's got one magical winner spot that is loaded up with all these fish? Because I read the story from the BFL. I haven't read as much about this Toyota, but the BFL, he said he had him in like 15 minutes, the 40 pounds, like he was done. And then took his co-angler to catch some off of some stuff that he didn't want him casting, I guess, that he would share. But he said he was finished. So in this event, that 39, does he have just one spot? What do you think? Is he that in tune with Rayburn? Or does he got one magical deal? What do you think?
I just can't. I mean, if he has one magical deal, the magic's over.
You
might have got away with it the first time.
Yes.
But after doing it 2 in a row and after doing it with a 13-10, which is
absolutely,
to be honest, dude, I didn't read the article. I didn't read any of that crap. I've seen that fish. I took the picture. I went to the bathroom. My wife's been beating on that door all weekend long, trying to get me out of there. Okay. Cause I am so impressed with a 13-10. I mean, that's bigger than any bass that's ever crossed the stage while I've, emceed events, and I've done it for over a decade. I mean, that's a giant fish, but I would say he's pretty dialed in the lake. I would say I can't see that being one area, but I mean, maybe it is. I mean, I can guarantee.
It'd be interesting to know,
You should have had him on LBL. I mean,
what if I had a podcast that had guests on? What would that be like?
It'd be good. It'd be good to have him.
Yeah, I probably missed the boat.
No, you had Swindle. I mean, it's never Swindle's the best guest ever.
That's a fact. That's a fact. He's just hit record and let him go.
Yeah.
Let him go. But congrats to Derek. Got to say congrats because that's just phenomenal, man. For any time a stringer, 30-pound stringers blow me away. First of all, I think we've gotten numb to them a little bit, right? Because when I was growing up, if a dude put a 20-pound bag on the stringer, on the scales on the Tennessee River, we were like, dude, he caught 20 pounds. It was a big deal, right? And then all of a sudden, it's like the elites and FLWs start weighing 30-pound bags, and you're like, okay. And then you catch 22 pounds and guys are like, oh, great job. Welcome to 15th place. In some of these bigger events, 38s, 36s, 34s, you start seeing these. Dude, I was watching the St. John's River Elite from a couple years ago that Clun won, the second one he won on Fox this weekend. And it's like every time one of them sets the hook, it's an 8 to 10, 34, 32, 36. And I'm like, are we numb to this now? Because anytime a stringer has a 3 in front of it, oh my God. But a 40-pound stringer, dude, I can't fathom that. Like what you go through in that moment in a tournament. Not only just catching a 13-10, but a 39-pound dude. He had 4 other bass that were pretty damn big. Come on.
It's unheard of. I mean, you know what I think of, and maybe it's just because from being up north, but every time we have one of those big stringers, 37s, 39s, I've been on stage for those, but as weird as it is, when I see a 39-pound largemouth stringer, the first thing I think of is how freaking impressive are those smallmouth stringers? But you see some that are 29s and 32s and 33s that have happened. That's a fish that tops out at 7 pounds. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. There's bigger ones, but realistically, every one of his bags has, in these 39s and 40s we're talking about that Derek's weighed in had a 10-pounder, double-digit fish. There ain't no double-digit smallmouth. So I mean, we are living in the prime time for fishing. Like when you think about it, as much as people like to look at the negatives, it's a great time because you're right. Like 20 pounds isn't 20 today, isn't 20 even when I started working in the Elite Series. Really, like if you really look at it, and I get it, there's the exceptions to the rule. There's the times when you go to Falcon or things like that where things are just, but just as a general rule, I mean, it's incredible. Really, it is freaking incredible.
To me, what's one last thing about this that's incredible, Rayburn is like Gunnersville. It's like Pickwick in that it gets pummeled. So what a testament to how great those Texas fisheries are. It's like Fork. Look at what Patrick Walters did. That's another Bassmaster Elite I watched this weekend, the Brandon Cobb Lake Fork. My gosh, man, like these Texas fisheries are very impressive. Texan Parks and Wildlife, tip my hat to you, because for a lake that gets that much pressure to kick out those kind of fish, unbelievable, man.
I just thought of that. That's a freaking share lunker. So in Texas,
no
it's
doubt.
over 13 pounds. It's a share lunker. So they take it and they bring it and they put it in the brood stock, program where they basically take a big dude. You want to hear some stories? Working with Texas Parks and Wildlife, I've seen all the research stuff in Athens and heard all about it. But dude, they'll take that 13-pounder and they'll put it, obviously the 13-pounder is a female. They'll take her and they'll put her with a male. Now the males are generally, I've asked all questions about, I'm like, how long do you leave them? Because they put them in like a run. That's where they spawn.
Yeah.
They'll put them in, I don't know, it's probably 4 or 5 feet wide, maybe 8 feet long. They put him in there to spawn. I'm like, how long do you leave him? And they're like, he usually just takes a day or so. And I'm like, so what, do some of them not spawn? And they're like, oh yeah. And I'm like, well, what happens when they don't spawn? Just don't get along? And they're like, well, sometimes we'll put a 13-pounder in there with a 6-pound male and to leave them to spawn. And we'll come back in the morning and there'll be one bass.
Holy wow.
But I mean, when you look at a 13-pounder, I mean, but you just wouldn't ever think, a 6-pounder, that's a trophy anywhere. But man, I mean, I can imagine the stories that come from that program.
Oh yeah.
That fish is part of that program. So it's pretty cool. And I'm excited to have tournaments back in our life and hit the road. It's hard to believe it's here. Cause like you said, it's the shortest off season ever. I I'm not ready to pick up a microphone and announce. I can't fathom how hard it has been on the anglers. You know what I mean? To be ready to compete and get all your stuff ready. You know, there was no breather this year, but like everybody, we're just happy to be working. So
No doubt.
yeah, tournament season is ready to go, and doing this show is going to get a lot harder for me and you because we're doing
It
a lot more
is.
traveling.
Yeah, we're both. I'm hitting the road this week. You're hitting the road next week. It's going to get a lot more interesting. So all you humpers out there, you'll probably see a little different background sometimes on LD and the MC coming up, but we're going to do our best. Weekly, you're going to have a new LD and the MC going forward every week. That's the plan anyways, until Dave says, you know what, Luke, this is too much.
I don't plan on
But
stopping.
now that I got this jacket, I don't see you retiring on me anytime soon, buddy.
Dude, that's an investment. That's an investment in you. It's an
this
investment in your
is-
future. I'm tired of you showing up like a scrub. I want you to look good. I want you to sound good.
Feel good. I feel it's amazing. The second my arms went through the sleeves, just the level. Like I feel like I'm almost looking down a bit. Hey, excuse me, coming through. I'm going to wear it to the grocery store later
I
with
bet.
my mask, of course.
Yeah, I bet.
Because we're in a pandemic. I know you can't leave your house, but we can in Tennessee.
Yeah, I know.
So speaking of retirement, yeah, you kicking me to the curb. We had a huge retirement in professional sports this week. Dustin Pedroia, the second baseman for the Boston Red Sox, has called it quits. And he was, to me, just like the epitome of an underdog, right? Small dude, probably cast aside so many times, but in his first 2 years, he wins Rookie of the Year, Golden Glove, an MVP, wins a World Series in his first 2 years in the league. It's never been done before. He's the only guy to do it. So it got me thinking, who are fishing's great underdogs that we've seen in the sport? There are obvious ones that jump out, but who are the guys that and most are underdogs, right? Like it's a tough gig, but the ones that just, you're like, oh, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. We're glad to have him out here, but you don't expect it. Or just go through trials, tribulations, whatever. I throw this to you because you've experienced so much of it on the stage. You're underdogs, Dave Mercer.
I mean, you got to go with the obvious. I mean, the biggest underdog ever. And until somebody else matches that, I think he's got to stay there, and that's Brian Kershaw. Obviously,
Absolutely.
Through the Bass Nation, he's got to be your the number one underdog in the sport. But like you said, everybody in this sport is an underdog, and that's the cool thing about it. It doesn't matter where you come from, but there is some that have overcome so much more. You know what I mean? You look at people who have traveled a long way, obviously, like anybody who Talk and all the Japanese anglers. Like if you look what, like Talk alone, like to come here and Takumi Ito, the Fishes the Elites, he speaks a lot better English than Talk did when he came here, and a lot of different things. Like Talk came here and left nothing, came here with nothing and lived, just to make this dream. Like he is the ultimate underdog. But there's a lot. I want to steal all the obvious ones. I'll leave you with a few of them.
But I'm varsity now. I don't need the obvious ones, buddy.
Well, who would you say?
I'm not really an underdog anymore because I got this jacket. No, I will throw an obvious one out there. Carl Jacobson. I interviewed Carl last year. His story is remarkable.
Yeah.
It's insanity against all odds for him to hoist a blue trophy. Unbelievable. To me, it's one of the greatest stories in bass fishing history. Like he just crazy. I'm going to throw one at you though. That is not an obvious one. That actually just popped into my head right now as we're talking about this, that everybody's going to go, that he's not an underdog. John Cox. John Cox, to me, is one of the greatest bass fishing underdogs and stories ever. He is a guy that when he first started this, he was in a big, bright, shiny Ranger bass boat. like everybody thinks you got to have, right? You got to have the brand new fiberglass, all that. That's how John started his professional fishing career. He had one of those. He went out on the FLW tour and struggled. Go back and look years ago, and tapped out. He left for a couple years. He comes back with a tiny Crestliner, like an 18-footer, borrowed truck, crazy story. A buddy of his helping him pay entry fees. And that year won down on the Red River, an FLW Tour event, the famous one where he went through the pipe and all that stuff. So to me, and look, there are tons of bass pros that have that story, but he was done. But the guy is so dialed and so committed and he just loves fishing. I mean, John smiles ear to ear when he talks about fishing the entire time. But to me, he is one of the greatest underdog stories ever. Brandon Polinick, to me, and I know that's an obvious one too, but just, from the bottom, from the federation to the top of the sport, man, amazing stuff.
I think all of those, it's situational too. You know what I mean? Like one of the greatest competitors ever in our sport. Doesn't matter what happens, is KVD. But if you really look at it, at the time when he broke into the industry, he was a huge underdog. You know what I mean? Like there was nobody from the north doing.
That's right.
What he went on to do,
and was very hated, right? Wouldn't you say?
He'll never tell me the stories, dude. I've asked him. I'm like, you must have got some serious. He did. You know what I mean?
Of course.
But he doesn't really kind of talk about those stories. I'm sure there's a bunch of them out there. But yeah,
well, right now calling in Kevin Van Dam. No, I wish I was going to try to get the letter. Sorry, guys. He's not zooming in. Sorry.
You just for no particular reason, you just blurting crap out now. Give you a freaking jacket and you've lost control.
It's the jacket.
Wow.
It's like Lord of the Rings, when they put on the ring and they all lose their mind.
You can lose parts of that jacket too. I mean, your letters are the next stop, but you can also lose a sleeve. I'll be in Tennessee in a few weeks. But a lot of underdogs is what I'm saying.
A lot of underdogs. And different challenges, like you're saying, situational, right? I mean, it just depends. Everybody, look at. I'll tell you one, Gussie, huge underdog to me, right? Like, dude, I don't know where he lives in Canada, but it's always snowing, 12 months out of the year, and then he's like, I got a 38-hour drive to the border. I mean, but truly, like those guys coming from up there, I think that it is definitely you're an end. I mean, I'm not going to say the Johnsons are underdogs because let's be honest.
Why? Because they live closer to America.
No, because they have gills, which Gussie does too. So does Gussie.
They'll all show up and kick.
Oh, I know. Oh yeah. They trust me. Hey, was present and accounted for many of those ass kickings. The Canadian trio. Trust me. I was glad when they left.
I think a lot of people overcome a lot to make it in this sport. I mean, there's a ton of those stories. Like you said, another one that nobody thinks about is Chris Lane. Man, Chris Lane was this close to quitting.
That's right.
Like he literally, I'm done. I'm out.
For sure.
He won that classic and it just, dude went on to win like 7 events in the next number of years. Like just took off.
That was it.
Confidence. I mean, Fighter did the same thing. Fighter was this close to quitting and, got a little success. So it's amazing to see, when you get that opportunity and what you do with it. And all those guys did great things. So, so congratulations to whoever it is you said retired.
Dustin Pedroia. You don't watch baseball though, right? Because Patrick Mahomes doesn't play baseball anymore.
I thought we were talking about fishing in this show.
Yeah.
I thought that's the direction we were going.
You literally opened with number 15, so I have to throw it out there.
You said it was show 15.
It's immediately
sorry, working in the television, I am used to bringing useful things that make sense, not just random
teasers.
Yeah.
Random teaser. Well, I've got quite the teaser for you, my friend, because we're bringing in some new technology. Into this LD and the MC. I have the ability to maybe throw a picture up. We're going to see if it works, but I have something that has been bugging me, a product that has been announced. It's popped up on Twitter multiple times.
A new fishing lure?
No, it's not. We're going away from fishing. Sorry, guys. But this is something that I feel like I need your professional opinion on. So, Dave, I'll share this right now. Here we go. And
nowhere near as smooth as you promised.
Is it up there?
No, it is not.
It's not.
It did not work. Go back.
I don't know.
Leave
I
it.
don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Oh no. We're done. Stop sharing.
FedEx.
Oh.
Yeah, I need a pickup.
Dadgummit.
In Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. I need
Don't
a
give
pickup
out my
FedEx.
address again.
FedEx is on their way to get the jacket.
Well, you know what? My first show, the reason that you even called me is called Low Budget Live. So obviously I'm still very low budget, even in a damn varsity jacket. So here we go. I'm going to explain it because we've got a bunch of listeners on freaking iTunes. But Kraft, the company Kraft, they're making a new mac and cheese, and you can Google it for your damn selves, okay? Because the picture didn't work. It's pink, and they claim it's going to taste like candy. So it's really gross. Really gross. Like gross. Every time I see the picture, it grosses me out. That's why I want to share the picture. Zoom can kiss my ass right now. So pink macaroni and cheese, Dave. Would you consume something as delicious as macaroni and cheese? Amazing. I could eat it 3 meals a day. That's just full disclosure. Would you eat pink? And I'm talking about bright pink macaroni and cheese. As we almost saw in a picture.
Again, it's kind of like the Underdogs. It's situational. I mean, there's times in my life, there is nothing that I wouldn't eat. Okay. I was that hungry, but generally as a rule, I'm going to say no on the pink mac and cheese, but it does. I like candy sometimes. So if it tastes like candy, I give it a try. I think what companies do with crap like that is it's not about replacing, Kraft dinner. It's about, just getting people to buy it for some Valentine's Day or some crap. But it's weird though, when you think about it, dude, like it's weird how, I mean, I don't know, the candy taste is going to be weird, but it's weird how even if it tasted the exact same, and it was pink, when you put it in your mouth, it wouldn't be the exact same. You know what I mean? It messes with you.
Yeah. Just just looking at it. No, disgusting.
Why would a color change that though? Like, you know what I mean? Like how can your mind not see past that color and be like, it's fine. Like, I mean, if you're Aaron Martins, you're colorblind. So, do you know that about Aaron?
No.
True story. Dropping fishing knowledge on you in the middle of a craft dinner story. I will keep us fishing, folks, if it kills me.
Mr. NFL football coming in hot.
That'll be Saturday. The Super Saturday Super Bowl special.
International special.
Aaron Martins is pre-fishing. Thank you for bringing me back. I appreciate it. That was a varsity move, and you have no idea how varsity that was, folks. Thank you for keeping me on the rails. Amart is pre-fishing for the Pittsburgh Classic. Right downtown Pittsburgh. There was the 3 rivers that ran through there, the Allegheny, it doesn't matter. There's 3 different rivers that run through there. So they're pre-fishing, and Aaron is pre-fishing with Tommy Sanders. So Tommy Sanders is sitting in the boat. And I mean, dude, we cover these events. You learn not to second guess an angler's opinion or their thoughts. There's times I've been places and I'm like, I don't know that you catch one here. And a lot of times they don't, and sometimes they do, but we don't give our opinions. We just kind of sit to learn in a situation like that, and you talk and whatever. So he pulls up to this water flow, and the water's just punching out of there. And Tommy's in his boat, and Tommy's like, this water flow is not like a regular water flow, dude. This water flow is freaking chartreuse. I mean, this why, like, ironically, the water coming out of this is out of a factory or whatever, but the water coming out of this water flow is chartreuse. I mean, it's freaking this color. Like, that's what's coming out of the water flow. And then Tommy's watching them, and Aaron's making sure his worm's straight, and got to be in there, bro. I'm gonna catch one. And then after a while, Tommy's just like, You think the watercolor affects it at all, Aaron? And Aaron's like, what do you mean? He's like, well, the color of the water. And he's like, well, what color is it? And he's like, it's chartreuse. And he's like, are you kidding, bro? Like, Aaron had no freaking idea what color the water was. And then so obviously Tommy's like, are you colorblind? And he's like, yeah, I totally can't see, which blows me away because this is the dude that is famous for like making sure all his worms are straight. And
yeah,
this is this color and that's that color. Is colorblind. So amazing to me. It blows me away. I don't know how I got on Aaron from Craft Dinner, but it is amazing how, unless you're colorblind, the color of things change your entire brain. Your entire brain. But there are a lot of things like that, Luke. A lot of things. One of them I thought about this past weekend, I'll tell you. And I do have a question for you here. This is an honest, and it rolls right off of what we're talking about. You need to get that? No, you're good? Okay.
No.
Well, just
my phone's on Do Not Disturb and it still rang. No clue. Look at this.
People need you.
Do Not Disturb, ladies and gentlemen.
People need you. So this weekend, I'm hanging out home with the family, nice, and the wife comes downstairs and she's got a sweater on. Like she's got like the little flash dance thing, with the shoulder down, like, first there is music.
Yeah.
Na, 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 na. So she comes down and she's got like that little flash dance sweater thing. And it's pulled down over her shoulder. And it got me thinking
about a lot.
It did get me thinking about a lot of things. It did. But once that was done, I got thinking about other things. And I started wondering, how come she can do that? Like, how come there's some things that a woman can do that is just like, your sweater hanging off your shoulder is super sexy if you're a woman. But if you're me, that's not sexy at all. Like, there's a lot. How come some things are sexy for ladies, but not for, it's not that I want to wear a sweater, but there's a lot of things.
There's a lot of things. Indeed.
I made a list.
Okay.
Like a ponytail. A ponytail can be sexy. Like a girl, you can see her flipping her ponytail.
Tell Rick Clunn a ponytail's not sexy.
He doesn't have one anymore, does he?
Not anymore, but he rocked it for years, buddy.
And when he did, it was sexy. Okay. Right now, you just look like Pat Renwick. Watch Stray Cast's great podcast. Please watch it. Next thing is crossing your legs. That famous Sharon Stone, when she did the big sat back and cross.
Yeah.
But a man crossing his legs, it doesn't look near as
can't pull it off, buddy.
No. And then here's another one. And this is one that I've experienced very much so. Boobs, big boobs. Big boobs look marvelous on a woman and not great on a man.
Yeah, I'm killing it. They don't care. I'm out here putting in all this work, eating mac and cheese to get these boobs. They don't care. No respect.
Nobody
call it a dad bod. What? Get out
Yoga pants. Another one.
Yeah.
Belly shirts. You name it. And then there's the other stuff. Like there's stuff that guys are so used to that when women do it, it's sexy. Like, for example, if a girl rolls up in a big, freaking jacked up monster truck, every guy in the world's like, good Lord. But if I rolls up in a little sports car,
little red Corvette.
There's a lot of things like that.
I got one. That when a woman does it, because I'm a hat guy, right? When my wife puts on a ball cap, man, puts on a hat, dude, that's sexy to me.
I hear you.
The triple threat, she brings it. Marissa Dave, when she puts one up, a good friend of mine in the fishing industry, I'll leave him unknown in this situation. I won't call him out, but he saw my wife at an FLW wearing a hat, and he goes, buddy, hey, and he's just over the top. I was like, damn, dude, calm down. So our joke for years, anytime she put on a hat, I'd send him a picture like, hey, she and I would hug up. I'd send him. He's like, dude, you're so lucky. Just the hat. I'm like, you don't think she's hot all the time? I think she's hot all the time. But the hat would take it, dude. It drove him nuts. My wife, which is a little creepy, but I'm proud, right? So I wasn't pissed about it or anything. But it was bizarre. The hat did it.
And weirdly enough, you're the exact opposite. I mean, with a hat, he looks like an old redneck. He takes that hat off.
My buddy.
It's like a boy band. It's like it. Look at him. No, why am I the one that doesn't wear a hat?
Look at this jacket in the hair, Dave. Yeah,
I believe. Yeah. I should be the one wearing the baseball hat.
I'm gonna put it back on before I embarrass myself.
But there is a lot of those things. I mean, you think of also like overalls. Jean overalls. I mean, you've seen sexy girls in that jean overall look that you're just like, man, you come on over and paint my house whenever you want. Got them painter pants on. But dude, when you think of
cargo shorts,
when you think of a guy in jean overalls,
one unstrapped,
freaking hillbilly Jim, don't go messing with a country boy, country boy. I mean, there's a lot of things.
Hillbilly Jim.
A girl in a tuxedo. You know, you've seen it. There's sometimes that girl will wear a tuxedo to the, the prom or whatever. Or sometimes a female best man will wear a tuxedo. And dude, girls look super sexy in a tuxedo, but a guy looks freaking horrible in a dress. I don't care who you are. It doesn't look great.
But what I'm taking from this, Dave, is that you really want to let your freak flag fly. I feel like is that you've had a lot of time in lockdown. You want to wear the on stage. You want your shoulder exposed, maybe a little bit.
No, I'm pointing out the obvious differences in life. I mean, there's things that guys can do that girls can't do. I mean, like eating a freaking banana. I mean, I will tell you, it's a lot easier for a man. It just. I mean, you see girls pour. I ate a banana right before this show, so I know and I had no problem just fired that. You watch a girl eat a banana, she's got like her hand in front of I mean, there's a lot of things that guys can do. I mean, peeing, obviously, that's a very, very obvious one too. I'm just saying there's things people can do and other people can't do. It's just
we really one of the episodes we were about equality. We were bringing everybody together. Now we're like, you know what? There are some things people can't do that others can do. We're stepping all over our points.
No, but it's not.
No, I totally agree.
It's not about equality. I mean, some of those girls, trust me, those girls, hey, here's one thing a girl can do that a guy can't do. You know those stupid apps on Instagram where you take a picture and it makes you look 10 years younger and you got no freaking wrinkles and you're just.
Yes.
Girls can use that crap. Like if I posted it, like there's a few girls that I see on social media that they are friggin' full filter. I mean, they're not even a human anymore. 90% filter, 10% human. I mean, and you're like, man, look at that girl. And then when you see her in person, you don't even recognize her. Is the problem. Number one. And number two,
gigantic issue.
If I did one, if I just was like, hey guys, tune in to LD and the MC this Wednesday at 6 p.m. Put a little hump in your hump day. And I had that filter on. Dude, you imagine what people would say?
Like little hearts around your eyes, little glow.
The kitty cat.
little kitty cat eyes. Dude, I got a quick one. I never have a quick one, but this is a quick one. So I really like really trashy reality TV, right? Like it's my guilty pleasure.
Sucker.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but anyways, you're in lockdown. Maybe you should refer to more trashy TV to get through your days of Canadian lockdown. But in Tennessee, I'm past that already because we beat COVID.
I want to hear your story, but I have one question. Are you starting to itch yet?
Starting to itch.
Just keep wearing it. Finish your story.
Okay, now I am sweaty. I am sweaty. So my wife and I watch a show called 90 Day Fiance where people...
That is like the trashiest of all shows.
Incredible show. I will fight you over this show. I've watched every season. Incredible show. And the premise is these people get 90 days to marry people on a K-1 visa. It's an international show, Dave. I can talk about it, but you're talking about the filters. One of the recent episodes I saw, this lady's like 50 years old and she gets this guy in like Tunisia, right? all they do is video chat, talk, whatever. And she sends him pictures. When she gets off of the airplane over there, he's like, hey, you know when she's showing up? I mean, it's basically because, dude, she had filtered like 40 pounds away, 20 years away. They show it all on the screen. Incredible, the catfish job that this lady did to this poor immigrant. But then he married her. So joke's on him, I guess.
So the premise of this show is you get to marry somebody for 90 days?
No. It's
Or
people from
be
other
engaged.
countries. You're engaged for 90 days and you got to get married or they got to go back home. It's a K-1 visa. I can't
I think
believe
that's
I'm
a
explaining.
That's a wonderful program,
It's
really.
a fantastic show, dude. Fantastic show. And most of the time they meet each other. It's on TLC. And I'm telling you, I don't know what they pay the people that write it, produce it, but they don't pay them enough. It's fantastic. To the point, I've got my 65-year-old dad hooked on it. He watches it all the time. The other day he texts me and goes, hey, I'm looking into one of these 90-day fiancé.
No!
I swear. But dude, it's crazy. There's Russian chicks and Brazilian chicks and dudes from like, and it's crazy. It's like clashing cultures and everything. But yeah, this lady from Georgia filters herself down and this guy's like half her age. She gets off the plane and he's like, yeah, that's where's she? Question. And like full camera crews are there and stuff, dude. So filters are dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. They're very dangerous. But you women use them way more than us guys to kind of tie it all back in right there, varsity style.
But they're allowed. They're allowed. That's what I'm saying is they get, and I don't mean allowed. That's, again, you're getting me in trouble to say, women, you're allowed to use them filters. No, I'm not meaning that. What I'm saying is girls can get away with that where guys can't. You know, like a lot of things I said.
Yes.
You know, like, I won't bring up any others, but there's a lot of others. I got a long list. I got off into a dark, like I started thinking, and dude, it was obsessing me. Like I'd be going through and I'd be like, look at that. I can't do that. I don't know why, but it's things you just see. Like it was just.
We got to get you out of there, buddy.
Well, dude,
we got to spring you from lockdown. It's got to happen.
I mean, maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
We got to get you, Sarah, and the kids out of there for a couple weeks. Get you some 90-day fiance on the TV down here in America. After
some good American education,
get some good American TV.
Yeah,
and then send you back for more lockdown. But we're going to have to spring you from there.
Some pink craft dinner. Eat some pink craft
pink
dinner.
Mac and cheese. Hey, take the sweater off your shoulder. You can do that down here. We're not going to judge. Promise.
Yeah, that's totally my experience.
In the South. Can you imagine?
Yeah, I'll give it to you, right?
Boom
shakalaka. Giant bass. So weird. What? Show 15.
Thank you guys so much for watching LD and the MC. We can't top that shit.
But we've got an incredible Super Bowl special. Make sure to tune in this Saturday. The Super Saturday Super Bowl special.
International podcast spectacular.
This is a freaking train wreck.
Are we going to have a guest on that?
I'm not bringing it. Yes. Any big one. A freaking, and I'm talking
big.
I'm not big. I'm talking NFL freaking big. Okay.
McAfee?
Pat McAfee. Listen to me about Pat McAfee. I give him all sorts of love. And then now all he talks about is how much he hates freaking fishing. Oh, boring fishing is from a freaking kicker. From a kicker. That's it. You can't. You're a kicker. You can't. I introduce grown men and I yell stuff when they hold up a bass. And even I do more than you did. You're a freaking kicker. I mean, I love your show. I'm a big fan. Why you gotta hate on fishing all the time?
No.
I mean, and I didn't hate on kick until now. I think kickers are really smart.
Kicking's
found a
stupid.
way to get paid and not do squat. Really, it's amazing. I love Pat McAfee. But hey, Pat McAfee, come on the show.
Yeah,
we'd like to
we dare
welcome
you.
Pat McAfee on our show to tell us
Yeah,
what he doesn't like about freaking fishing.
bet you won't, Pat.
Triple dog dare.
Bet
You won't
Pat.
appear right here on
Oh, man.
LD,
And the MC.
the #1 internationally hosted podcast, fishing and other stuff podcast ever.